It's a record player. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews. Product data. We got another product review today, and we're going to be going into music land for this one. We're going to be talking about a certain product that any music aficionado would love to have if they are a diehard music fan. I just got my first one in a long time, and it's a popular one that is very affordable, very dependable. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to holler at the Audio-Technica AT-LP60 Turntable. I don't know if you can see all that. That's what the shit is. Now, Audio-Technica is a very popular company that specializes in making things like turntables and anything music related, like, you know, I think microphones, they make that shit too, and all that. Anything audio related, Audio-Technica probably makes the shit. But this is their entry-level turntable. It's a belt-driven turntable. There are two types. There's belt-driven, which uses a belt to drive the actual turntable. Then there's direct drive, which is sort of like a motor, but that's more used for like higher quality turntables, like namely like DJs use those things because they're more durable and they last longer, and you know, because you got to lug them around. But it is more of a complex thing to put together and to deal with, and they're a lot heavier. So this is sort of catered to the occasional music listener, someone who wants to listen to something at home, isn't a DJ, just someone who wants to listen to some vinyl records and whatnot. And this turntable here, the cool thing about this is not only because it's lightweight and very affordable, but it's got its own preamp in it. Now, if you know anything about turntables, especially most turntables don't have a preamp. You have to buy one, which is extra money. But this one has one built in, and you can actually just plug it straight up to a receiver of any kind, as long as it's compatible, and then you can just start playing your records on the go as long as you got some vinyls on deck. So that's the quick run over. I'm going to show you the turntable. I've already unboxed it, but I'm going to show you kind of a little bit how it sets up. It's very easy. And also I'm going to, you know, show you how it works, play a record, you know, and all that good other shit. So let's do that. Alright guys, so here is the Audio-Technica AT-LP60 turntable. As you can see here, pretty much setup is real easy. It comes like this pretty much out of the box. The only difference to it is when you first get it, this, of course, the Audio-Technica black slip mat thing is not on there, and also the metal platter here, this is actually not assembled as well. Now, when you get the metal platter, there's actually a little red piece of tape that actually holds together the belt for the belt drive that you have to actually slip over a little golden spool. It's actually right here. You can probably see a little bit of it here, and it's real easy to do. You just slip it and you pull it over, and then you're good to go. You do a test spin to make sure it's running right, and that's after that. You put the slip cover on, and you're pretty much good to go. Oh, and there's also a little plastic piece on your needle arm or your toner arm, whatever. The arm, I call it the arm. On the arm that you have to make sure is off so your needle can actually, you know, be exposed to play the record. Also, there comes a little adapter if you want to play 7-inch records. Now, if you want to just play standard 12-inch vinyl, then you don't need an adapter. You just put it right on here and you're ready to go. But if you have a 7-inch, most likely a single or anything like that, you have to put this on, and also on this little lever here, switch the size. It's defaulted at 12-inch, but if you ever need to go to a 7-inch, you flip it over. Now, it only does 7 and 12-inch records. It only plays those type of records. So if you have any other sizes, you can't play it on this turntable. So it only is for 7-inch, 12-inch. So if that's a deal breaker for you, then you may not want to get this turntable. But most records press up in 12-inch or 7-inch anyway, so you shouldn't be, you know, it shouldn't be too much of a hassle trying to find your favorite record in that size. Now I'm going to show you the front of it. Alright guys, so here is the front of the actual turntable. Now there are only 4 buttons on here, as you can see, so I'm going to go ahead and go through them and let you know. It's real easy to use. So I'll start with the main buttons you're going to use are the start button, which basically automatically starts the turntable, lets you play the record. You don't have to worry about lifting up the arm. It does all that for you. It spins the platter for you, does it all. You just hit the button and it goes. The stop button does the opposite. It stops everything. It stops the record, it puts the arm back into place, and it just, you know, takes it back to its standard standby position. This button right here is the arm lift and, you know, raise and lower. If you hit this button, it's kind of like the pause button. If you're playing a record and you want to kind of stop it right for a second, like pause it, it'll just lift the arm up, and then when you're ready to go back to listening to the record, it'll drop it back down in the same space. That way you don't have to worry about, you know, going back or, you know, having to re-listen to a song or a record, or having to skip over and, you know, try to figure out where you were left off. On the end here, I'm going to go over here, see if I can zoom in a bit or focus a bit. Hold on, got it focused. All right, this is the speed. So like I said, there are two speeds, 33 in the third and 45. So depending on your record, you have to pick a speed for you to make sure that the record is in, because if it plays at the wrong speed, it'll either sound really, really fast or really, really slow. So make sure that you have the right speed, and it's defaulted at 33, but if it's a 45 record, you just push the button in, changes it over to 35, and that's pretty much it. I just hit the camera. Sorry about that. But it changes it over to 35, and then to go back to 33. So make sure that you know the speed that your record is before you put it on, because if you have the wrong speed, then it will sound really, really weird. And sorry for the camera fumbles. I'm handheld in this shit right now. It's kind of weird. But that's the front of it, and now I will show you the back. Alright guys, so here's the back of the unit, and now there are two versions of this unit that I forgot to mention. There is the standard LP60, which is what I have, and then also the LP60 USB, which has a USB hookup in the back for you to be able to transfer your vinyls over to digital. So they do have those both, available if you will want to, get your vinyls onto a digital format as well. But for this model here, you have your power cord, which I have plugged up to the wall. You also have your inputs, your component inputs for you to be able to plug it into whatever it is. Usually this is for, your speaker system or anything like that that carries component cables. You're going to need that. And you also have a phono and a line in. So depending on whatever it is you're plugging it into, you have to make sure it's on the right section. Phono is for like pretty much like anything that has to do with like a stereo system, anything that's using straight component. And then the line in is if you want to actually transfer it over to something like an iPod dock or a powered speaker with an auxiliary or line in input. Now, if you have something with a line and input like that, they actually do supply you with an adapter. You would plug your components into these two parts here, and then you would plug the auxiliary cord into this end, which is what I'm going to do I'm going to show you in the next section. And then that's pretty much it. And you just have to make sure that you're on the right section. So you just flip it to the right section, and then the preamp will go and do what it is that you need to do. So now we're going to show you the next section and, get to some record playing. So we're going to plug the two attachments in, and I actually have a speaker right here. Let me show you. And this is a AR Plus Sound powered Bluetooth tower speaker here. It's actually, plug-in powered by itself, and I got this for like 60 bucks actually at Walgreens, which is crazy, but it's actually a really good speaker. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the auxiliary cord that comes with it. I'm just going to plug it up to the auxiliary port just as such. And you can use any kind of powered speaker, any kind of powered receiver, as long as it has a volume control, because unfortunately this turntable doesn't have a volume control. So the speaker that you use, if you're not using a stereo system, has to have a volume control. And this here luckily has a remote with it, and it's actually on top of here too. So if you're looking for a cheap speaker, I think it's about 60 bucks. You can get one of these. I don't know if they'll still have them at the Walgreens. I kind of got lucky, but look online for a powered tower speaker or a power speaker of any kind, and that'll work out. So yeah, that's the receiver. So my sound output, actually, I'll show you, is the turntable's based-in cords, and then based-in component cords. Using the adapter that's equipped with it, I've converted it over to auxiliary line power into my tower speaker, and that's how I'm going to get my sound. So now that we're hooked up with sound, we got it on our right inputs and everything's powered to go, all we have to do now is just play a record. I got an album from a good friend of mine by the name of Evolve, his group with his producer Progeny, called Ghost Palace, called Life Ain't Sweet Run. We're gonna go ahead and play a cut from this joint. And you can get this album now. It's out. I'll leave a link in the description after you hear it if you like what you hear and you want to check out more of it. So you just lift up the cover. Got the purple vinyl, 12-inch. Just drop it on there, and there are two ways you can do it. Way number one, or the easy way, is you just hit the start button on the front of the turntable, and it automatically starts the platter moving, and it automatically lifts up the arm, and then it'll actually move over and drop into place on its own. You don't got to do shit. You just hit the button and then let the machine do its own work. And it starts playing the record. And I'll let you hear a little bit of it.
Mi padre
Father, forgive me, there's some things I've done that I cannot change, and I took no pride committing. My sins way heavy, I'm running on empty. Wake up every morning reminded simply I'm tortured. They say don't dwell in the past, but it's hard when that's the part of life that haunts you the most. A clean slate doesn't exist, no matter how much I persist, I can't escape the truth, I'm losing it. A pessimist in my own right, no matter how much good I've done, the bad overshadows it completely. Skeletons in the closet mock away, asking me why I keep running from them. Am I afraid of the guilt eats away? The prayers ain't working, stalemate.
And it will do the complete opposite. It'll take the arm off and it will drop the arm back into place, and it will stop the vinyl. Now the second way that you can play the record, if you don't want to do the whole drop the needle automatically because some people think it's too harsh, you can just lift up the needle yourself, move it over, it already starts the platter spinning, and then you just drop it on down, and then it plays the record. And another thing you can do, if you want to skip, that's also good if you want to skip the different parts of the record.
Secure in his ways, but he kept it all together,
and
though.
if at some point that you want to just pause it, you can hit the other button I told you about, the lift arm, where it lifts up the arm and it keeps the platter spinning. And then when you want to continue listening to your record after, you know, whatever caused you to pause it, you just drop it down.
It all together, though.
And there you
Turn
go.
the page. He's 18 now, been living on his own the only way.
That is the AT-LP60. That's how it works. And, you know, you can also, while it's playing, you can leave the dust cover down or up, whatever you want to do. And that's it. It's easy to use, it works, it functions well, and nothing more to say. So as you can see, the Audio-Technica AT-LP60 turntable is an all-around solid product. For the price, which is about $100 for the base model, if you want to go up to the USB model, you spend about $130, but you can't really beat it for the quality and durability that you get. Yes, it's a belt-driven turntable, and no, it is not the greatest turntable of them all, but for what it is, you'll get a good lifespan out of it as long as you're not killing the belt and constantly running records and playing them all day, all night, like weeks and months on end without any, you know, downtime or break. But eventually you will have to probably change out the belt, but you can either get it replaced, and if it costs about the same amount to get it replaced just to get a new turntable, get a new turntable, it doesn't matter. This is like a good entry level though. So you can't beat that with the price. The preamp built into it, I mean, it's light, it's durable, you can move it around. All you need to worry about is getting a good receiver, a good speaker system, or a speaker, you know, with, you know, controls that you can be able to control it by itself, powered up, and you're good to go. So it's not really more to say, but if you're looking to get a vinyl record player and you're just getting into vinyl and just getting into all that, and you don't want to spend a ton of money on a turntable, I say definitely go for one of these Audio-Technica AT-LP60s. Either the regular base model like what this is, or the USB if you want to worry about, you know, transferring your vinyls over to digital. You can get that, and that'll help you out with that. But hey, nothing more to say. Audio-Technica AT-LP60 turntable. Get you one if you want a dang fancy record player for not a lot of money. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that the Audio-Technica AT-LP60 is an all-around solid turntable. You get what you pay for. It is a good price and it is good quality. All I'm saying is that it's got a preamp built into it, which is a very, very good thing. The quality of it as far as playing the music back is really good. Good sound quality. All you need to do is worry about is having a good speaker system to hook it up to with the different channels. You can, you know, with the line in and the phono, you can find something that it can work with as long as you got something to it. And on top of that, it's very lightweight, very durable. And though it is a belt-driven turntable, it will give you a good lifespan. If you're really worried about not wanting a belt-driven, then you may have to go direct drive, but you will pay more money. And it will be a little bit more of a complex assembly, whereas with this one, it's just straight out the box for the most part. So really all I gotta say is that if you're looking for an entry-level turntable, this is the one to go for in my opinion. So really, all I gotta say is that the Audio-Technica AT-LP60 turntable is 100% Granddad approved. Definitely get one if you're looking to get a turntable or get into vinyl. I highly recommend it. I mean, it's a dang fancy record player. Go get one. Nothing more to say. Flip it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of the Audio-Technica AT-LP60 turntable if you have one. If you don't have one and you're looking to get into vinyl, I highly recommend that you pick this up. Good price, good quality, good everything else. Previous videos on the side as well as my new music video. Check those out, show them some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen. Button below. Woolly Reviews, twice a week. You know the deal. So that's all I got to say. So until next time, I take my leave. Granddad, Audio-Technica, AT-LP60 Turntable. I'm out of here.